Do you know that Brazil had its own gold rush in the 80s? The gold is a precious metal and is one of the most appreciated metals in jewelry due to its physical properties, as it has low alterability, is very malleable, ductile and shiny, and valued for its rarity, being a metal that is difficult to find in nature. This phenomenon has occurred throughout history and at different times. The vast majority of these events took place in South America, Mexico, the United States and Canada. The most famous case occurred in California from the 19th century to the 60s. In the 20th century, about 300,000 people emigrated to this place, settling in the surroundings of San Francisco in search of the most important precious metal in the world in that moment. Today I will talk to you about the case that occurred in Brazil, precisely in Serra Pelada. Unlike the case of California, the gold rush began in Brazil at the end of the 1970s, characterized by the fact that Brazilian workers worked in conditions similar to those of slaves during the Portuguese colonization. Let us remember that South American countries are used to working in precarious conditions, threatening their own health. When we see these images, we could imagine how these people risk dying every day due to physical damage that could originate in their bodies due to fights between the workers themselves, or even a painful death by falling into the void of the mines. The history of Serra Pelada begins in 1976, when a geologist from the National Department of Mineral Production of Brazil found gold samples in the south of the state of Pará. The news was initially kept secret, but it began to leak in 1977. In October of that year, the president of the company that owns the rights to the deposit confirmed the existence of gold in the Sierra de las Carajas. Starting in 1980, waves of immigrants moved to the state of Pará and invaded the deposit in search of this precious metal, where it would cost many their lives. At the height of the extraction between 1983 and 1987, up to 14 tons of gold were extracted per year. In 1987 there were disorders in the area when the miners demanded the intervention of the government to deepen the excavation. The miners occupied the bridge over the Tocantins River, and in the eviction operation carried out by the police, there were more than 60 deaths according to the miners. Serra Pelada was transformed into a huge hole due to the presence of gold on the surface. It very quickly became a very important human concentration, reaching, according to some estimates, almost 100,000 miners. As the hole deepened, landslides, rock falls, and, consequently, deaths became more frequent. In the last years of this gold mine, the extractions were declining until reaching only 250 kilos of gold per year at the beginning of the 90s. Currently, the pit where the ore was excavated is flooded by a lake. To this day, Serra Pelada continues to be an open wound for the Brazilian people. It was nothing less than one of the most savage and bloody mines in the history of mankind, where its workers excavated with their hands for a salary of $2 a day. It is incredible how far the lust and greed of the people can go. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you support me with your like and subscribe, so that I can continue with videos of stories not so popularly known. Comment if you would like me to make a video of an event that you know. I would love to work with your ideas. Bye.